Hello everybody, welcome to Adventures in Beekeeping. Today we're going to be adding metal tops to our telescoping covers. These are the tools we need: a square, a hammer, 10 snips, needle nose pliers, 2 clamps, a sharp knife, and a box of nails. The telescoping top that I want to cover with aluminum flashing is 22 by 18. But the metal that I want to cover it with is only 20 inches. So if we take the 20 minus the 18 1/4, that gives us 1 3/4, which is equivalent to 7 quarters. And we want to let this metal overlap the edges equally, so we divide it by 2, and that gives us 7/8 on each side. The length of the telescoping cover is 22, so we wanted to overlap the same amount as on the sides. So we add 1 3/4 inches and we come up with 23 3/4 inches. So I rolled out the aluminum flashing. It's 20 inches across, and I'm measuring 23 3/4. And then I'm going to use this knife, and I'm just going to score it right here. It'll probably ruin the knife blade, but that's okay. I'm just going to score it here. I still have to cut it. I'm going to score it here a couple of times. That's enough for me to see it so that I can push my square up here and get it lined up. To finish scoring. Okay, and then I get my 10 snips, and I'm going to cut it along that line. Now the next step is to bend the edges of this just to the right position. We want to 7/8 on each side and on each end. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one side first, and then we'll do the other side, and then we'll fit it on, and then we'll bend it right onto the product, or right onto the telescoping lid. So I use one of the telescoping lids as kind of a tool or a clamping location. And then I don't have a brake, so I have to come up with a way to do this bend and keep it straight. So we want 7/8 here. And then I'm going to use a clamp here and clamp my square onto the telescoping cover below. Then I'm going to measure this. This needs to be 7/8 as well. And then again, I'm going to clamp this aluminum, and the square to the telescoping cover. Now, it's not in position for the telescoping cover. I'm just using the telescoping cover as a clamping device. And then I'm going to double check. This looks a little wide. Nope, this is good. And then I just have to do this by hand. You see, I don't have a brake, so I'm just bending this up by hand, a little at a time. I don't want to warp it or stretch it. Like if I did a whole bunch at once, it might stretch the aluminum, and that would be good. And I'm going to try to press it over a little bit so that it holds the position. Okay, that should be good. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Seven-eighths there, and seven-eighths here. And then I'm just going to use my hand to bend this up. If you have a brake, or you have a friend that has a brake, that would be really great. And just continue that. And bend it all, be sure to bend it all the way over. All right, that's all for that. So now we're gonna flip this over and put it right on to the telescoping cover. And we'll have to fit it on there. Pull it a little bit to fit it on there, there we go. All right, and then we got to pull it, sorry. We got to edge it left and right to get it to be the correct place. And then we want that to be 7/8 on both ends. Not quite yet. That's probably pretty good. Not quite. Let's see what it is down here. Oh, it's a little long. I guess somehow it got a little bit long. So let's see. That one's 7/8, perfect. And that one is 15/16. A little bit hair long, but that should be okay. Now, what are we going to do? What we're going to do is use the edge of the telescoping cover as our bending point. Since we got it measured and everything, we're just going to go ahead and bend this over using the edge of the telescoping cover as our bending point. Notice we get these little diamond-shaped corners, and we'll use those here in a minute. So on the end, you want to unbend this a little bit on the end, and on this end as well, and then bend Okay, now I want to show you how we're going to handle these corners. Can you see? So this bend right here is the bend that was done first. So we're going to keep that bend. We're going to maintain that bend. But then what we want to do is fold this down and tuck this up under. So we want this piece that's going to be this middle piece to be up under here. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take a needle nose pliers and we're going to put it right like here, right? We're going to take it right down the middle, and we're going to bend this down and put this up underneath. I'm going to bend this down. I'm just going to twist it and put that up underneath like that. So now that goes like that. And we want to keep that, try to keep that bend. We know that bend is the square bend, right? From this direction down to here. So we want to try to keep that as good as we can. And then we're just gonna, we've got it in there, up underneath there. We're going to hold it in there and we're just gonna mash this down like that. And then we're gonna give it just a little tap with a hammer. Now, there should not be any real sharp edges. There's a little one right there, but that's from the bend. And now we're going to do that same thing. Now we're going to do that same thing here, but this time that original bend is coming up this way. So we're going to maintain that original bend. It looks like it's torn. Again, we're going to maintain that original bend. The original bend is coming up this way. So this didn't get bent right. So I'm kind of losing my orientation here. But that original bend is coming up this way. So we want that bend to stay right where it is, and I want this piece to go up underneath. So we're just gonna grab it here and twist. And I didn't do that very good. I've only done this a couple of times, so it's not, I'm not super talented at it, but you get the idea that you want to try to bend this out of the way and underneath so that you don't get cut with it when you're out in the bee yard. There. And then a quick tap there. See that? Can you see that? Yeah. And there's this tiny little sharp point right there. You might be able to give it a little tap. It's amazing. Not too bad now. There. All right, let's see if we can do that again. Now, this is the original bend, so we want it to be maintained. And what we're going to do is put it right along the edge like this. Put it right along the edge like this, and we're going to turn it up under like that. Okay, and as that happens, then this piece will go up under there. I'm just going to keep twisting that up under there. And now that I got it going, I can actually fold it down. Again, it's not perfect. I've only done it a few times. I may have to cut that little edge off. But now just, yeah, I'm gonna need to cut that little edge off because it's a little long. And it'll be a little sharp, but it'll be up under there. All right, still struggling to figure out how to do this. All right, let's try again. This is the original bend. We want that original bend to stay. So we're going to actually tuck it up under that way. So we're just going to grab it like this. Right along that pinpoint, up to that pinpoint, with needle nose pliers. I'm going to twist it up underneath. Just keep turning it up under there. And looks like I tore it right there. That's going to be a problem. And fold it in place. And a quick couple of taps with a hammer. We're good, that's sharp. It's not too bad. All right, now, next thing that we're going to do is nail this in place. And the way we're going to be using these panel board nails, they are 1 5/8. They have a ring shank and they're black. They're internal, which is not, I didn't like that, but this is what they look like. And I put like 5 along here, 5 on every edge. And then I make sure this is pulled down. Again, and then I'm starting in the middle and working toward the edge. If you put it in the edge, you may end up with a little bump here. So you don't want to have the edge of this sticking up. And then this is the fold. This is the underfold, and I'm going to put a nail through the fold. And then work my way back the other direction. And then this is a fold as well. I'm going to put it best I can through the fold. And pull it down into place. One in the middle. Everything's falling apart. I don't know what's going on. Stuff is falling off. there we have it. Metal cover on a telescoping top. Thanks for watching. God bless and have a great day.